everybody going on prom. Yes, there's a lot of events in the pipe. And today is Mother's Day. It's a real nice day. You know, both of these gentlemen was remarking all the text messages they got to send out. And so we just want to make sure that everybody that's listening, that is mom to be, mom that was, have a happy Mother's Day, you know?
That's right. Most definitely.
Relax today if you can. Just relax. Anywho,
about the mothers.
We're going to keep on from last week talking about relationships, so we're going to keep that thing going. But before we start, you know, the way we start, I'd like to go to Steve and say what you got going on, Steve.
Oh, man. Oh, it's a lot. You said the prom send-off. I had one yesterday downstairs in Northwest Austin County. There must have been 100 people in there. Ooh. And they, you know, they like to do the full regalia where they videotape them keeping their clothes put on and so forth and so on. And I'm like, wow, you know. But this is the new thing, you know. Prom send-off is like the next closest thing to a wedding, I guess, you know.
I saw something like that was saying black people go so hard at prom because they won't be doing wet. It was something weird that they said. I gotta look at it. I'm gonna go look at that. It was derogatory, but still.
What? Oh. Yeah, no, the prom send-off's a big thing, man. Everybody, you know, and now you see the grandparents doing it more than anything for the grandkids. I mean, the grandparents probably always been involved, but now you see grandparents promote more than anything else. The prom send-off, we got another one next week.
Yeah. I went to a prom send-off yesterday, and I tell you, I had never seen anything like that. They had like a horse, you know, and a carriage. They had a lot of food. They had candy with her name on it, cookies with her name on it, and the year on it. And she had on a real way out kind of dress. And her date was a white boy.
Wow.
That shocked me. Yeah, that's what I said. Wow, you know.
White boy.
It certainly wasn't like what I had.
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely
right.
That ain't even what we had growing up. I'm from. Yeah.
No, man, it's they do glam shots, big drone heads, they do the photo head, they do no, man. I guess they just say Junebug and all of them get married, so we're gonna make it happen tonight with this.
And they go with all the tennis or gym shoes.
Yeah. Man, they wearing pants look like shorts.
Yeah.
You know, ankles be all ashy. I'm like, stop.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, okay, that's how we doing it. You know, how we doing it.
Yesterday on glass.
On your block. Wow.
Glass loaded, yeah. 6.
Wow.
Could have counted 10 as I drove.
Right.
Jackson, Quincy, Adams.
They get a little extravagant. I've seen one on the internet on Facebook or something. I don't know that the girl's white couple, young couple.
They had a whole dinner set up with the stage and the balloons.
Do you want watermelon?
Mm-hmm.
It ain't the best. Huh? I'll take it to you. Okay. That stuff was salty. Excuse me, that potato stuff was salty.
Hello? I can't hear anything. Hello?
I can hear,
Oh, you hear me?
I can hear you, but I can't hear anything either.
Me
There
either.
you go. What about now? Can you
No,
hear us now?
I hear
Yeah.
you, but I don't hear nothing else.
Yo.
Let's start with that. That's a good thing. But we were just talking about all these prompts and Ella.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I
What
hear
happened
you.
around? I thought I saw you on the corner with the police.
Oh, when? The day they were all out there for Xavier?
Down the street. Yeah, on Division and Menard. I mean, yeah, Menard.
No, I wasn't out there.
No.
When?
I
Today?
saw something. Yeah, about an hour ago or so.
No, I wasn't out
No.
there.
Oh, okay. Nothing happened. I didn't get the whole logistics of it all, but I saw a police car, I saw Hispanics hanging out, I saw cars, big truck. I don't know
Oh,
what
wow.
was going on.
I've been quarantined in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been in the house after I came
Oh.
back this morning. I ain't been back out.
Oh, okay. No, it was like a big yellow truck from the alley, from Mr. Ferber's alley. No.
Wow, I'm gonna have to.
And it wasn't,
I keep
because
trying to
there's
tell
a
you.
bus stop right there, so it was something happened.
You want to put some rice?
Accident or something, I don't know.
Might have to check it out and see what was going on, because I don't know.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Ow. Well, I'm on a Zoom call, but.
Something must be wrong with the Zoom because I'm not getting anything. So disjointed.
That'd be. No. There we go. Now, I was saying something going on because there were cars and trucks and stuff from the alley, Mr. Ferber's alley, all the way to the corner, to Menard Corner. And you know, it's a bus stop right there. There should be vehicles all up in front of there. You hear me?
You started Zoom over there, didn't you?
Right, I hear you. I don't know what happened.
Remember they said on the news it was an explosion out of space and it was gonna affect the communications.
What you're doing is zooming the live video from there, so that's the only thing that's showing up on YouTube instead of the video from over there. So you have to start to zoom over here as well, so when I do the share screen function.
So which one first?
You gotta start this first.
This Zoom.
Yeah, this Zoom.
Okay.
I'm wondering, because I'm like, why is it like that? See, it's like, it's not showing. It's supposed to be, it should be showing that.
But I'm gonna tell you what I think it is, because when I came in, I didn't have the hotspot. That popped up. The Zoom.
Yeah, so that's probably connected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking maybe that could be the discrepancy. there, go tiny on it now.
What? She said I'm on a Zoom cover. I'm gonna get you. What's it?
Anyway,
Family off for mom.
Chevy Bench.
Yeah, it was good. I haven't checked. I really said you very much for that.
Yep. Hello. Yep. Oh, this is good, man. Yo, can y'all hear me?
I hear you.
Okay.
I hear you.
We good. That's it. The YouTube on too? Yeah, that's all. Okay. So we good. We gotta do a recap a little bit. Make sure everybody heard, understood, and all that good stuff. What was you saying, DeAndre?
Oh, no. I don't know. I was saying with the prom thing, they were saying like that's like our new wedding, you know. A lot of us will experience getting married, so that's like our opportunity to go all out, you know.
They say Junebug and Lil Mama ain't gonna make it to the jump the broom. So they might as well make a home suite right here for the what do you call it? The prom center.
Yeah.
And they doing them all day, boy. You know, like I said, I had one yesterday. Must have been 100 people, and they do the whole. Let's watch them get dressed and videotape that. I was like, wait a minute. I mean, put the makeup on, maybe, but they didn't even come, dressed. They got dressed here. And then they went, I don't have like an official dressing room. I'm like, one of the bathrooms is big enough for some people, 2 people, But the other one, they wanted the young man to get dressed. They said, can we do it in this hallway right here? And I'm like, you got 100 people right there on the other side. He was like, well, we ain't gonna let them come through. I said, can they go out the other door and come in? I said, yeah. I said, well, guess we're gonna have to do that. I said, but he could still go in the back when he got to change his pants. No, he can change his pants. I'm like in the hallway with the video on that too. I'm like, man, we taking it to the level, right?
Yeah, production.
Who was that? Tiny said he was the one they had a horse for the prom send up. Y'all hear me? I think they do. I'm hoping they do.
Yeah, I hear you. Who was having the prom?
Yesterday it was believe it or not, it was somebody from what's that school DFW or D something. It's over on Chicago Avenue and Monticello.
Okay.
North Mondale or something.
Roe Clark?
Yeah, maybe.
Wait. What street?
Chicago Avenue and Lawndale.
Yeah, that's Roe Clark.
Roe Clark, okay. Yeah, he was going on from there. And the young lady that was doing the setup, she's from down off of Parkside there in 1100 block. She said that she had an event space down the street here on Parkside Division on this same side street we are.
Oh, that must be, is her name Shael? Something like that?
No, it's well, I thought it was Sabrina, but it's Debrina. I'm like, man, that's a unique name. What you took, Daryl and Sabrina, and added Debrina? Yeah.
No, I was wondering because at our district council meeting, the young lady, and I've seen her quite a few times now, She came up and gave me a car. Her place is 5720.
The one got the African shop?
Yeah.
I'm glad you said that.
Oh, not her?
No, not her. This is
Okay.
this is a younger girl. But they got the whole block down there. They got a beauty school starting from the alley, you know, right before you get to the barbecue joint.
Where, near Central or?
Yeah. They're going near Central, going
Okay.
forth. But it's starting from Parkside, from the corner of Parkside, all the way to the alley.
Mm-hmm.
They have that whole setup right there.
Oh, the little star right here.
Yeah.
Just a, like a barber school.
Yeah, right. I know them people from back in the day.
Oh, that's what the young girl was saying? Or you talking about this lady right here?
Yeah, she said, but she said they got shut down. And I'm like, what? She trying to give me the breakdown on it, like, oh yeah, we got. I said,
got there after parties.
Well, you know who told me? Our people, you know, because we work with them. They told us what to do, you know, but she said that the city came because they didn't have a electrical permit. And then she said they came in and they said, where's the drugs, where's the weapons, and where's the drugs? I said, the building department did that? You said the city. She said, city. I said, the building department, she said, no, the police. I said, well, come on, talk to me. Because I know good and well the city ain't gonna come in like that. But see that, but the cops we work with, District 25, they had told us. They told me, they said, Steve, if somebody got shot in there in the leg, and then they tried to pretend like it didn't happen inside and say, oh, it didn't happen in there, they wouldn't say it happened outside. And they were having a lot of problems over there, so they shut them down. You know, that's what the real deal was. But what was crazy, they were lagging and dragging over here with me because I had to get up. You know, I told you my daughter had a boyfriend proposed to her yesterday we had to be downtown, hide out,
Super dope.
you know.
Oh, you did it downtown well.
They turned the fountain on yesterday.
Okay. Okay. That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah, man, about 30 of us down there, and he proposed to her. But I told him, I said, I can't stay. You know, you got to get up and get out if you want your money back. And the girl still slacking the jacket, man. Come on, give me some grace. You've been late every day. You called me this girl called me on Wednesday and asked could she do this. And the only reason I did it because of Butch friend, Ronnie Smith, you know, over at Sankofa. And she said, oh, they didn't have nothing for me, you know. And Ronnie told me to get with you. And then I'm like, all right, let me see what I could do. You know, I'm trying to accommodate.
Right.
But it just went on and on. And I'm like, man, look, then they went down there anyway. After they finished, they went down there and did it. Here you go. They went down there and finished up because I told them, I said, you only booked the place for a certain amount of time. I don't know how you did it. Why is it doing that?
How old are they?
Who?
Your daughter.
They're 25.
Oh man, such a rarity. Such a rarity.
Yeah. I guess. Yeah.
And we ain't getting married nowadays.
But anyway, they left here and they went down the street to the place that was shut down anyway. So I'm like, what y'all gonna do that for? You gonna have no problem. But hey, you know, this girl wasn't on her P's and Q's because she's my time didn't matter to her. You need to charge it. Yeah, got it. Bring it here. Oh, here, go. You can try this. Okay. But yeah, nevertheless, yeah. So that was my eventful time. Dealing with people playing with my time, man. Trust me, man. Tiny?
Yeah.
Tiny.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you something, Tiny. The stuff I'm going through, I look at things a whole lot with my time, man. And when people pulling on my time strings, I can't. It's a little much for me, man. You know, if I say I'm gonna do. If I'm gonna commit, I'm gonna commit. If I can't, if something go wrong, I'm gonna call in advance that you know. But I ain't gonna make that no habit. And I don't know what it is, man, where it's like you can't get people to commit to what they say. It's like, and then if you late, they gonna have a pissy fit, you know? And I get that. That's rightfully so. But
Yeah.
it shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be that way with me. You know, don't take advantage of my time.
It's like it's unspoken. Black people won't see tea time.
Man, look.
Get there when it get there.
She called me with an emergency. I need to know if I can rent a space for Saturday. Okay, what time? This and that. Okay, this is how much. Okay, I'll go get the money. I said, well, give me a couple hours. Came back, didn't have all the money. So I gotta wait. Can you wait till I can go get? I gotta wait again. I said, how about this? I just wait till can you come a day early? I don't do a day early because I might have something else. I don't do that. You know. Then she shows up late. Then she didn't bring. I don't never open up my place unless I get the whole amount of money.
Yeah.
Because you know it could be an ordeal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like that's why you just do
Right
that
way.
on the front end. Do that on the front end, and then you know we clear going through. Then she came late, and I wouldn't let the people in because I'm like, how am I gonna let you in? Why should I let you in? I mean, you haven't paid. That's the rule. You get in here, now I can't get you out. You know? So, nevertheless, no, I think that chord is a little funny too. You gotta play with that chord. But nevertheless, man, it was a good night with the prom. I mean, not the prom, but the engagement. Yeah, the chord is a little. Give it to me, I'll try it. I know how to do it. Give me the chord. You just gotta. Wait a minute. How much juice you got? Yeah, you down 6%. Let me see the chord. Because you gotta pump the chord a certain way.
I don't even use them chords no more. I just use
The flat thing.
man.
Does it work? Because a lot of those things, I've had problems
Oh, yeah.
with those. Yeah. So what else going on? We gotta dive into our topic, y'all. Because I know it ain't y'all want to talk about male-female relationships. That was supposed to be the lick today, and to conclude our relationship topic. Because that's something that everybody wants to understand or give advice, should I say? Or do we have? I'm sure everybody on here could give some relationship advice. Matter of fact, I'm gonna start off with Tiny. Tiny, where you at, man?
Okay, I'm here.
Yeah.
So
We're gonna start out with you when it comes to male-female relationships. You were talking about it a little bit last week about your wife. You said your ex-wife or something.
I'm still looking for a wife.
You're gonna be looking for something.
yeah. Well, now, you know, I always had girlfriends as long as I can remember. I always had 2 girlfriends. I'm not a player or anything like that, but I've always had 2 girlfriends. And I know that you can love more than one person. You know, people want you to just have one girlfriend, but you can love more than one person. You know?
Yeah.
So, have anybody else had that experience?
But you got to be a magician, or what they calling people, the prestidigitator. You got to know how to juggle all them balls at one time. That ain't nothing easy.
You never tried to go about a route of polygamy?
It's not easy.
I mean, Tiny, you ain't never tried polygamy? It sounds like that's the route you're going down anyway.
Well, I never could. Now I have friends who done that, but I never could get the 2 women to agree to be together. They knew about each other, but they wouldn't. I couldn't keep them in the same house.
Oh, okay.
You know?
You definitely was
So
You drug me. You were
How
drug.
you work that one out, man?
Yeah,
Yeah, he was in struggle.
yeah.
How you work that one out,
Well,
man?
well, one just died, and when I got married, I told my wife before we got serious that I had two women that I loved and would always be in my life because I had children bound, and she had to respect that. And since it wasn't a thing of where we were like together, I find if you tell them that in the beginning, they accept it. Whatever you tell them in the beginning, and if you stick with it, they'll accept it.
Hey, Tiny.
I think so. I think you give them the choice.
Wasn't
Oh.
Right.
one of the twins' mama, right? I mean, twins that I met.
Huh?
Was that one? Was that one of the twins that you had a baby by?
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
I'm sorry. That's Bill. That's Bill.
Yeah.
That's Bill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I had both of them pregnant at the same time, and I didn't know what to do. When I asked my father, what should I do? And he said, don't do nothing. And that's what I did. I didn't do nothing, and it worked out.
But what does that mean? I don't get what that means. Don't do nothing.
Yeah, don't do nothing.
You still gotta be
like people say, they got the fight or flight syndrome where you have to do something. Well, sometimes if you don't do nothing, it'll work itself out.
I feel that.
You say you stood still like a roach on the wall when the light came on.
It's fight, or freeze. So he just did nothing, freeze.
Man.
Right, just don't do nothing.
And ain't nobody say nothing. Okay.
Well, they wanted me to choose.
They want you to choose.
What you say, Miss Jacob?
Miss Jacobs got her hands raised. Go ahead, Miss J. What you got to say? There she go. Miss Jacobs. How you unmute her? Then you unmute her, sister.
She has to unmute herself.
Yeah, you gotta unmute Miss Jacobs. Unmute yourself. Well, she'll jump in. Go ahead, Tiny. You were saying.
Yeah, but I find that if you be for real with women and tell them how it is, and just keep it like that, don't change, they'll go along with you if they care for you.
But what if they tell you how it is, and they come back and say, hey, I got another gal beside too, and this is just how it is.
Well, that's how it'll be. But the thing is, if you be strong, they don't say that.
You say somebody be paying for something. You get some help on some of the bills, huh?
Yeah. No.
Ms. J, you got your hand up. Go ahead. It's fine. Or anybody got to feel like responding. Especially a woman, and I know there's some women out there that heard it. Any response?
Interestingly, we really changed the dynamics of relationships. That's why I said I'm very happy for your son-in-law and your daughter, and their proposal at such a young age, because we're not getting married anymore, and part of it is because of the roles are so skewed between men and women, that it makes it that much more difficult to try to be in the partnership with your significant other these days. It's very, very difficult. So for them to be able to find each other and be whatever each other needs, in today's world is a blessing for sure. So
Yeah, I
that's
don't agree with that, man. I think the young people are actually getting married, bro. I believe the younger people, the younger generation, are actually the ones who are, popping the questions to their girlfriends, bro. Because they find love fast. Again, I work around a lot of young people, so I'm talking about they be head over heels quick. And I think that's because they don't have a lot of social interaction like that. Everything is virtual. So when they lock on to somebody that's quote unquote real, I think they do fall head over heels. So I think that's just the older generation, but I think the young generation do get married. I think I told you, Crystal brother and girlfriend got married at a young age. So
statistically, it's got to be young because older people, they're not. I don't think those are big numbers. Whether in the marriage thing, older people get married. I don't think that's. They probably been there.
Well, when I say older, I'm speaking for people, over the age of 32. So.
Yeah.
No, man, it's I don't know. Hey, it's a different dynamic. You got to realize, I guess, even during slavery, we married, didn't we?
Oh yeah, married slavery.
Yeah,
for sure.
They let us marry even during slavery. So, I don't know it was probably really young because in the South, you could get married at what age back, Arnold? 14, 15? Yeah. I mean, that was up until
interesting, that new law, they was talking about in Arizona, they say it was a gentleman who wrote that law. He was against abortion and all that. He was marrying young kids at age 14.
He was.
Got that judge in there and wrote that law 1864. He said he was doing it at age 14.
1864, and this is a law that's still on the books.
Yeah. So they just repealed it.
And how old was he?
Arizona. He was known for.
He was a judge?
Yeah. He wrote that, it was a different mindset than men in them days.
Mindset.
When I was listening to the report, they gave a little background on how that law was wrote, and the gentleman that was known for that law, and he went throughout Arizona, Mexico, and some other parts of the country. He was known for marrying young kids and all that. And marriage was at 14.
So wait a minute. So he was the judge that would marry them, or he was marrying them himself? He was getting married to young girls.
Yeah. He had to know for sexual abuse and they can, and then when they get pregnant, they will as it relates to abortions and all that. I was just listening to a report on MSNBC.
Right.
He gave the gentleman's name, and he was a judge, and they wrote the laws at that time.
Really?
Before Arizona became a state and all that. Whatever.
Yeah, it's a little salacious, ain't it?
Yeah, he had a reputation.
Wow. I mean, although you was 18, so what?
1864.
Well, shoot, anything could happen then. That was right before slavery. You could say slavery was still going on. A year before slavery ended. Man, what? Look, I'm still trying to figure out the whole deal about the melting pot. What's the melting pot? What we melting together, But not to deviate too far from the subject matter, which we're supposed to be diving deep into relationships, male-female relationships. What you got, Arnold? You won't say much on that. You gonna say something today.
Well, I'm just saying, Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers, aunties, daughters, females. Happy Mother's Day. And Just enjoy the day, eat, drink, be merry, have a good time with the family, and let them acknowledge you with gifts and presents and food and money. For and I did call Steve, wanted Steve to tell Angela Happy Mother's Day, and Happy Mother's Day. I didn't let him get off the list. And DeAndre to your loved one
Oh, yeah.
as well, and all the moms out there. Don't
That's
just
right.
shut up and listen to the mothers.
No, we want your view on relationships.
I don't know their name, no.
Yeah. You either had one, in one, or gonna be in one. You gotta give us your view.
We started this last week, and I told on Ben, I'm waiting on the wife.
That don't mean you ain't been in training. You waiting on the wife, don't mean you ain't been training for one.
I'm playing it safe.
Playing it safe. Getting off this hook. You've been married before, right?
Twice.
Oh, you've been married twice? I didn't know that.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so talk about that.
Yeah, what's that like?
Because I didn't know you were married twice.
Yeah.
Wow. So what first time, how old were you when you married?
About as long as the ink dried on the,
Oh, damn.
yeah.
About as long as it takes a Tesla to go from 0 to 60.
Yeah. Oh,
in a straightaway.
And then the second one, I was married, about to be 11 years. Oh, it was official, legal. Okay, but we're friends.
You said official legal.
Yeah.
What was it before then, if it wasn't official legal?
Well, they acknowledge that it's a legal divorce.
Oh, I got you, the divorce part. I thought you were talking about the marriage part. I'm like,
Well, we're friends, very close, and, to this day.
well, let's start with that. That's a good way to go through this thing.
My mother said, you can't be married and be friends, so.
Yeah.
You were friends before you got married. Why you can't stay friends?
Now with benefits,
No
Oh, yeah,
benefits.
for sure.
or some benefits.
Can't even find a meal, huh, when you need one on a holiday. That benefit, huh? So, okay, so let's look at that. So you married once. How old were you when you first got married?
You're really going back now.
Before they had lightning. We just had thunder. We ain't had lightning in days.
I was in 1991.
Oh, that was
Yeah,
what,
before the
33 years ago.
Yeah, and then the second one, I got married,
Man, it's
2001.
okay. So 23 years ago, 33 years back and 23 years back. Okay. So you wasn't really no young dude when you got married.
I will say, I did get my career, working on the railroad. I wanted to make sure that any kids came to the marriage that I was in a position to take care of them and provide for them. So, we had our differences, but nonetheless, I always kept in mind that, again, when my mom taught me to be friends. No abuse, language, or physical, and never wanted to put either one of the parents down as far as to the kids. Your daddy or your mama, no.
Right.
Didn't play it. And as a man, I always felt where I would take the abuse, language-wise and all that, and let the kids know I still love them as well as their mom.
Mm-hmm.
And their family. Even though, like I said, we had some respectful differences of opinion, I honored that, and I think that, man, you really think that's okay. And I didn't want my kids to grow up hating. And my parents and the elders taught me that.
That's a good point. The to keep it on the same subject, but just to turn it just a bit, our relationships are a result of what we see our parents do, and obviously, and as we get older, what they tell us to do. And that's the reason why our relationships are the way they are. I think that's an important point that a lot of folks have to understand, man, because if you grow up in a household that doesn't have a father, and you see your mother cycling through different men, if let's say you're a woman, you may think that that is the acceptable way to be. I'm not saying that that will happen, but that definitely can happen. It probably happens more often than not, because that's just what you were accustomed to. Same thing with men. If you didn't have your father in the household and you didn't understand how to properly treat a woman, if that's what he was capable of doing, then you would go out and subject women to undesirable behavior, and possibly be an undesirable mate yourself, until you come into the realization that you shouldn't be doing that. But sometimes that's difficult. We legit are a result of the relationships of our parents and what they teach us.
Well, it's different for me because my boys, they all told me, they said, Dad, we ain't getting married. I'm like, what?
Yeah, but why?
They don't see viable women out there for them. That's what they said. They said, Dad, we don't see nobody.
Yeah, that's what I be saying. That's what I'm saying.
I said, well, your mama been married, been together for almost 45 years. And y'all don't, no, even when they was 30 something years, they were like, no, Dad, I don't think we get married because they don't see, somebody, they don't see the pool, which I don't understand that, because in Black society, there are more women available than men. Right?
Yeah, for sure.
So you telling me, if I went to the store and there are more canned goods on the shelf than there are vegetables in the fruit in the vegetable aisle, I can't go to the canned good aisle and say there's some good products out of all of these canned goods. All of it, what are you telling me? I don't understand that.
Nah, what it is that
I'm in the store.
No, that's what I was saying. I was trying to find this video so I could play it, man. That's what I'm actually looking for, the video that kind of breaks down today's woman, like this idea of femininity or the feminist movement, Western ideology, and it created a type of woman, and this type of woman exists. It's very difficult. And that woman is one that does not take accountability. You will be hard pressed to find a woman who understands that it is okay to be culpable in the relationship. That some of the stuff that is happening in your relationship is a result of the things that you're doing as well. There are women who refuse to. I got a friend who's married now, and I was having a conversation with her about it, and she was chirping at her husband about something, and she was wrong, and she was like, "Yeah, I ultimately had to apologize." The hardest thing I've had to do. What? But as a man, though, I'm expected to apologize 55 times a day. Every single thing I done did was wrong the whole day. And I better come rub her feet, scratch her scalp, and make sure that everything is the bubble bath lit, the candles lit, the music. I better make sure everything is straight. But on the back end, I get none of that, though. Nobody, no man wants to settle for that.
Well, the one thing you ain't got to bring is the money, dude.
That's part of it too. Women have started to accelerate in career and advancement, so you don't got to bring no money in. They make it what you make now.
So then you ain't got to be the king of the castle. if you ain't bringing in the crown jewel.
Yeah, but nobody want to butt head with a woman though. No man wants to do that. That's not even that's a woman shouldn't even go back and forth with a man. And I'm saying that from a respectful level. If we're talking about God and how we need to have God in our relationship, according to that Bible, that man is the head of that house. God is the head of that man. If that man is taking his cues from God and that woman is receptive to that, there should not be any back and forth because that means that this relationship is divinely intertwined. But there are women who go to church that will still have an argument with a man that has his spiritual alignment in the right place. And so that becomes, it's like, what are we doing here? Like do you, because as a man, I don't feel like a man if I can't lead the family. I don't care who makes the most money. But if I'm a man, how do you tell me that the decisions that I'm making or the things that I'm doing for the family isn't up to snuff for you? You know what I mean? Like I'm not saying like and every man should excel so that their family could excel. But I'm just saying like that if we haven't butted heads like rams because I'm trying to lead the relationship but you don't want me to, I mean, come on, nobody want to do with that.
Mm-hmm. No, man. I mean, there has to be some give and there got to be some take. You know, but how much do you take? That's what you're saying, right? How much do you take?
Yeah, for sure.
We got a hand raised. Got a hand raised. Go ahead, Moses.
You know, man, the problem is, Steve, is Western culture has given women too much freedom. You don't see these type of like, and I said this 4 or 5 Sundays ago. You will never see a Hispanic woman raise her voice at her husband. She just won't do it. And I live in a building full of African women from Africa. They don't talk back to their women. I mean to their men. They just don't do that. And so when your son say, I ain't getting married, because he can't find a viable woman who's fit, feminine, and submissive, and willing to listen. I'm not saying be a robot. I control everything that you do. You can't talk. Go wash dishes. Shut up. Be quiet. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, it was easier back then for in your generation and older because really the women had no choice. They didn't have a lot of jobs for women back then. So they got with the guy they could get with who was having a job. But now women got so much freedom. So it's so many jobs opening. They making their own money. They would rather be independent. And this also goes back to the Lyndon B. Johnson thing, where Lyndon B. Johnson gave independence to women by kicking a man out of the house. So especially in our culture, 76% of Black women never get married. You know what I'm saying? They never get married. You know what I'm saying? And women also initiate the divorce. I don't think men nowadays should get married. You know what I'm saying? Because and then if you want to go with the Bible tells women, man is the head of the household, but not no more. Like, you know, these women, they like to talk back. You know, they think they tougher than you. So ain't no point in getting married to these women.
Well, you said you don't think women should get married? Is that what you said?
No, I don't think men should get married to women in this Western culture. Because this new age culture is not made for marriage and stability. It was made for y'all back then because women really didn't have too many choices on jobs and the pick of the litter. But now women got way more choices than men. If y'all had Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, the women y'all with now, they wouldn't be with y'all. They would have picked somebody else over y'all. But because y'all are circumstances of y'all time, y'all got what y'all got. And the women back then didn't have many choices in jobs and getting money because
you know, they didn't have a lot of rights back then. But now women got so many rights. They like, man, what do I need a man for? I don't need no man.
Don't you want to have a family?
Women's liberation.
Oh yeah.
I got brothers. They're my family.
Don't
And
you
then,
wanna have-
oh yeah, oh, it's places to go for that, Steve. I ain't gonna get too in detail, but it's places to go cure that. We can go ahead. It'll take a couple of dollars to cure that. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. I already have my daughter. I already have my kid. It is what it is. Now I go out the country and get me a wife because I ain't gonna deal with no back talk. I ain't gonna deal. And I'm not just saying black women either. I'm not pointing out black women. I'm saying Western women in general, Western culture. And again, your son confirmed what I said. So he feels the same way I feel. That's
So
my
that
brother.
includes Hispanic women too, then, because they're westernized also.
Oh, no. Hispanic women, see the difference between Hispanic women, Steve, they got a culture, they got their mama, their parents' culture. They be second generation, third generation. So they coming in the cult. Look at all the Venezuelans. You ain't gonna see not one Venezuelan woman without her man. You're not gonna see it. You're not gonna see it. And if the government said, hey, I'll give you this money, get rid of your man, they not gonna do that. They not gonna get rid of their man for a couple. They gonna no, that's my papi. I'm not gonna leave papi. But a black woman, oh, they'll leave their black man in a minute if they throw some money in their face.
But I'm gonna tell you, I've worked with Hispanic people for years, and I saw the women checking the men, especially in the Mexican.
Oh yeah. They'll jump ship. Hey, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, I don't no problem. Papi don't want no problem.
That's right.
Papi not want no problem. I'll give her what she wants.
Yeah, nah, them women spicy, man. They are spicy.
So I'm just saying, I don't know if that's quite true. I mean,
You're gonna always have to deal with something. It is what it is. So here's my thing about relationships, and they're very difficult in these times that we're living in because again, the roles have shifted. Men are now cooking. Men are now single fathers in the household. You know, men are very much so much more domesticated. House husbands are a thing now. I mean, but that's to each his own. Whoever is in that type of relationship wants to be.
I think we were kind of like that when we were more tribalized, you know. I think the men did the cooking. They went and hunted the food, and they brought it back and threw it over there and did what they needed to with it.
Well, I cook my own food just about every day.
Right.
Right. Well,
I think the men took care of the babies. When the women were pregnant, they weren't able for some weeks to do things. I think the men probably took care of the babies that, you know, once they just gave birth. So I'm sure the men didn't just say, oh, let the baby sit there. I'm going back thousands of years, you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking
right.
The roles were kind of like real vague then, right?
Yeah, but I mean, and that's true. I'm just saying, something like cooking is just that's one of those things, man, where that gets you and keeps you though. You know, it's that's a love language for a lot of folks. You know, having somebody
on both sides.
On both sides, absolutely. Men, there are plenty of women that want men that can cook. Everybody want to do it, but so my thing is, in a relationship, it's supposed to be a turn taking sequence. I'm pro turn taking. So we going out, it should be turn taking. If we cooking, you know, however it is. I don't really have an idea for a relationship outside of just support. I need a lot of support and affection, but otherwise, I'm cool with women, you know, in this whole liberation piece. I don't have a problem with that.
My question is, since I was probably, I would say 7, 6 years old, man, all I remember is the liberation period started. How many half a century does it take to this liberation period to go? I mean, it's been going on for almost 50 years or more. No, it's been going on longer than that. If you go back to the suffragette, right? The suffragette movement started what? The 1918, 1920 or something like that? Where white women were trying to get their rights to vote and everything else. But I'm just saying, you know, when is liberation completed? Anybody?
I don't know. I'd say this. It may be just a black phenomenon. Everything that is our community is built off tactics. That's what it is. It might just be us because one thing that's for sure, two things for certain. All of these athletes, when they get ready to get selected, they surrounded by white people, white women, in fact, and thereby where we could have potential generational wealth because we got all the athletes, it's all going somewhere else. There has been a lot of talk about interracial dating and marriages, which is fine, but that kills the culture. And I mean, part of it is that maybe the way we are in our relationships are also probably designed to be that way. I mean, I think we're the only ones that have this issue.
Really think so? I
can only speak because I mean, look, this is where I'm at with it. So I can't say that everybody else does.
I'm just gonna go back to my block. Crazy. My block is predominantly, you see, white folks. I want to say, I have 2 white people on the opposite side of me. Yeah. Okay, but again, my block is a little bit different because I said this before. The majority of people on the block are married.
Right. And
now when I say majority, I'm saying like 90% of them, if not 95. And the percentage of black people, that black couples on the block are 2.5. You know, 2.5. No, I'm sorry, 3.5. Out of 24 homes. So what is that? 2.5 out of 24? That's 10%. So 10% of the block is black. And the rest are white couples. And in the later years, they are young white couples. When I say that, I'm saying under 40, under 35, under 38. And what are their dynamics and moves? Well, it looks like they stay married a little bit. You know, I've only known of, let's see, on my block, maybe 2 white couples that divorced. No, maybe more, 3. No, take that back. No, now that I think about it, it's been quite a few white couples on the block that divorced. I'd say 10% of them have divorced. No, 20% of them have divorced over the years. Yeah.
I mean, divorce rates are pretty high.
Yeah, and those are white couples. The black couples that have been on the block, they're still together. What are the younger people, the couples that have had kids, what are their kids doing? I've not heard a lot of them getting married. You know, and I know white couples on the block and black couples on the block that have had kids that, you know, were born on the block. I've seen their kids born on the block. They're in their 30s now, you know. Yeah, they're not talking about marriage. I can't rightfully say that. No. Because I know almost everybody on the block that's been there for the last 30 years, the ones still there. And their kids have not, or are not married. You know? So, that being said, what compels us today to, as men and women, to make it work? Because we gotta have these relationships, y'all. I mean, are we gonna just be like the Matrix in the future? Just plug in and then got babies growing out of eggs and stuff in the thing?
Oh yeah, most definitely. So that's definitely how we're about to be.
No, you hit it 100% on the head, Steve. That's exactly where it's going.
Yeah, for sure. Rise of technology. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we're definitely at
There ain't gonna be no more mating, people mating anymore, huh?
I mean, well, they're really concentrating on this metaverse. This virtual reality world that you can live in. Right. Yeah. About when we, all of us gonna be gone by the time this really. I mean, it's already happening now, but by the time it gets to a space where people like are living virtually, where they put a mask on and then they do all of their stuff, we'll probably be gone. But yeah, that's where we're heading for sure.
So dating is going to be done through virtual reality.
It's already done. It's being done through virtual reality for sure.
Give me an example.
I mean, just all of these different chat sites that exist right now. There's a lot of people that are on them.
Right.
A lot of people find, they other person on them joints for sure.
And also, there was a article that there's a robotics company, and they're making female robotic playmate dolls. You feel me? And the pre-orders are ridiculous because men are having a hard time finding a mate. You know what I'm saying? And then these dating sites. If you go on these dating sites and you look. These girls want, tall guys. You got to be 6 feet. You got to have 6 figures. You feel me? Like you gotta be like they want the upper echelon.
You got about 6 pack.
You said what?
Gotta have a 6-pack.
Oh, 6-pack. Everything. You know what I'm saying? Everything with a 6. You feel me? That's in the positive. That's what these women want.
You just said the mark of the devil. A 6-pack, 6 figures, and 6 feet tall. That's the mark of the devil.
Ain't nothing but the devil.
Well, you do know, Steve, that Eve talked to the devil, not Adam. So they pretty close to it. I'll tell you that.
But again, I think the not the rise, but the fall of relationships between men and women is based on religion. Let's say religion, because a lot of younger people don't follow. They may believe, but they don't follow.
It really boils down to the two people within it. That's all.
What you mean by that?
It's just however they want their relationship to be. That's how it's supposed to be, though. Your relationship, how it's defined, is supposed to be between you and the person that you're in a relationship with, and that's it. I mean, in with the rise of social media and things like that, you have people that are experts, armchair psychologists that's telling you what you should and shouldn't accept. Now, unless a person is disrespecting you or putting their hands on you or, neglecting you in ways in which you feel like it's just detrimental to the relationship, then the two people in a relationship should be able to freely do whatever they want to do within the basis of their relationship. But, you go out and you listen to the world will have you believing that, you were a psychopath, in both ways. You're like, damn, but I this was cool to me, though. This is our little thing. Nah, that's wrong. She should be doing this. He should be doing this.
I listened to what you just said. The two people should set the baseline.
Yeah, for sure.
Where you getting the roadmap from?
It don't even matter.
If you just come up with a baseline, that's wilding out. There's no, where's the premise come from? Where's the where's the beginning? Where's the, it's like saying we all end up at a party, music came on, and people just did. No, you're supposed to dance. You're supposed to come together. You just don't go and start flipping off the wall or going over to hit the turntable. Or, hey, this is how we doing it. Really?
Yeah, but even if we were dancing, the man's supposed to lead.
Okay.
I mean, that's just where it's supposed to go. So even in a relationship, yep.
So I was just gonna say, this Raheem, I agree with what you just said 100%, man. So just I guess personal example, me and my wife, we've been married for 19 years. I got married when I was 21. And yeah, and like the religion thing, we don't share like the same like religious views or whatever. Um, but to me, so like early on, we used to get into it heavy about that. But we get to the point where, you know, especially for me, I got to the point where my want to be with my wife is greater than like any belief that I have. So just pursuing that, you know, we was able to overcome. So that's not really necessarily an issue for us anymore.
Mm-hmm. But when all else is off the table, do you not have a roadmap? Do you not have a guiding light or direction, a pathfinder? Let's call it that.
As far as what? What you mean? That's how we want our relationship to be?
Yeah, because let's say things just not working and you just don't have any kind of clue, and then you're saying, okay, well, we talked about this and we don't, but we still don't know what the real premise is, why it's not like it should be. I mean,
But
the reason I put religion, because religion in so many cases is kind of like a roadmap. It's a what do you call it? Yeah, it's like a GPS. It tells you where you're at. It tells you where you can be, and it tells you pretty much where you're going in certain aspects.
I don't necessarily know about that, Steve. I think the relationship tell you where you at and where you going. So like, as long as like ain't nobody about to get killed, nothing like that, y'all could work shit out. You know, y'all could figure it out if you want to and if you're trying to. Um, so I think like if you go into it with that in mind and working things out and pointing toward that intention, then I think the relationship will show you.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this, Steve. What if what if someone showed you that more Muslim people stay married than Christianity? Would you say that the roadmap need to be changed? Because when you look at Christianity, when I was younger, there was no gay marriage. But when Christianity changes, but you see Islam never change, and I'm not trying to convert anybody, but I'm just saying like Christianity is not something you really want to stand on because it changes. It never stays the same. But Islam has stayed the same. And you can't really get divorced in Islam like that. You have to go work that out. And in certain other countries, you have to, they won't even let you get divorced. They'll tell you, you need to go work it out. And in this culture, this Christian culture, you can do any, you can be any, you could be a weirdo, you could dress as a dog, you could wear pink. You could just do all type of weirdo stuff and be a Christian. And that's why I think Christianity does not work in marriage. It just it would.
But don't you think change is good? Evolution is good?
Now, when it comes to the Bible, Steve, the Bible says women can't be preachers. And then we got women preachers. The Bible states this. Timothy 1, ain't no arguing. God, Subhanahu wa ta'ala, says women are not to preach. It is against the Bible. And then you got women preaching. So it's like, what's the point of having a roadmap when you changing the roadmap? The roadmap is the roadmap. And if you changing the roadmap, it ain't no roadmap.
What you're saying is the origin and the destination is always going to be the same. So the map should never change.
The map should never change, especially when it's coming from God. When it's coming from God, no, ain't no change.
But do you not know that back in the day when you had GPS, especially in your cars, you had to update them every other year because certain communities popped up and certain roads changed and certain things are no longer going that direction. I'll give you an example. Back in the day, me and my wife used to go to the north side by Cabrini Green. We used to jump on Ogden right at about, I don't know, Madison there. And we would take it right across, right by Cabrini Green, going right over Halstead, end up right on Claiborne. They got rid of that bridge, that location. That is no longer an option anymore for the last 25 plus years or more. But my whole point is, it changed. Is it a bad change? Yeah, we got to go other ways, but you know, we still get to our destination. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think it's a roadmap to relationships, man.
It's only the two people that's within it that's gonna dictate how it's gonna go. But now what you got is how you call it, like if we talking roadmap,
Principles rules.
Well, no. It's just I'm thinking like how you call it, like important points or destinations, like how you want to call it, like landmarks. You know, so I mean, in those things, you know, for example, could be therapy. But as I mentioned, you know, I did couples therapy. I don't know, almost all of last year, and we still didn't get anywhere. You know, and I want to get married, but I can't get married if we ain't gonna be, you know, we can't work our shit out. I'm not getting married. I refuse to. So,
that's
you know,
understandable.
You know, and
I mean, that's a roadmap again. You see your destination, you see your starting point, but you keep hitting the wall. So it's foolish to keep hitting the wall when you're trying to get to your destination. You have to find another route, or you got to get rid of the wall.
Right.
You know, I mean, it's interesting.
Well, what if you have to go through the wall?
What'd you say? Go through the wall?
Yeah. Like, what if that's the goal, to go through the wall?
That's a lot of work, though. I mean, do you counteract mass with more force, or do you just say, nah, the mass stays where it is, and I look at a path of least resistance? You know, I mean, force begets force, right? In so many ways. Force, what they say, force begats force, or brings force, or whatever. Yeah, I mean, you go through the wall, that's a lot of energy.
Man, and that's why.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a lot of energy. Nobody ever said that like relationships is easy or love is easy. Well, it's not. It's some of the hardest shit you'll ever do.
No.
You know, so maybe you're supposed to go through the wall, go through them landmines or whatever.
But he's saying getting out the gate, starting a marriage. I mean, I kind of get that. I mean, it was like that in the caveman days. The man get a big club and see the woman with the car, you hit on the head, don't drag her around. Now you mine. You know, force.
We might have to go back to those days.
Got way more.
We might have to go back to them, man.
Mosaic doing that already. He was doing that last week at the club. Come on here. What? She at the house with a ring on her finger or whatever. I get this.
Yeah, it sounds like a cool way to do it if you want to live in a cave.
Right.
So I just want to say to all the women on Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's
Day. Thank you, Barry.
Man, we got a lot of men on today, I tell you that. There's more men talking about relationships than women. Women don't care about it. They doing fine, I guess.
And what about a relationship with their mothers?
With their mothers?
With our mothers. With all of our mothers.
Well, that's the beginning of it all. That's the beginning of any male's relationship. It starts with their mothers.
For sure.
And then it propagates and grows out to the woman that they want. Either being more like their mother or less like their mother. But some with traits, you know, some traits I would say. But I think it does, right, DeAndre? That's I mean, psychologists would say
that you say what now?
That men, when they look for a mate, they look for someone that's more like their mother.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's been debunked or not. They both sexes actually look for somebody that's closer, that represents. But again, it's more because children just, they follow what they see. They do not follow what they hear until they're old enough to be receptive to it. So you can tell a child anything you want, but if you're not guiding and hand-holding and giving them the example, then they're not going to follow it. So that's why people, that's just dissonance. You know, that's why people be like, man, I told you your whole life that you should be doing it this way. You still doing it another way. Then your child gonna hit you with, you wasn't doing that though. That's the best way to describe it. That will always happen, 99% of the time. And so what we're saying is, folks are looking for relationships that they see from their parents. So however the father is in that relationship, you know, and so it just depends on partly the relationship that you have. So I don't have the greatest relationship with my mom, and you know that's neither here nor there. And I would probably go on a limb and say, due to no fault on either of us, we are who we are at this point. You know what I mean? But I don't talk to my mother a lot. And when I did back in the day, trying to call my mom about relationship stuff, she was like, I don't know what to tell you. You know, and I was just like, oh, okay, well, there's that. So I would prefer to actually find somebody that's a little different than my mom. I didn't feel like my mom was stable. She didn't really keep a whole lot of jobs. To me, she was a little angry. I don't want that. Shit. But that's because, again, I don't have that greatest of relationship with her either. So.
But you're looking for that person that could be different than what your mom was for your kids, right?
Right. Oh, for sure. No
right.
question. Exactly.
So yep. it is still that motherly figure that you look for in so many ways.
Right.
Well, I mean,
how about the women on the call? Like to hear their voice.
Ella, Miss Jacobs.
Miss Jacobs. Mary was on there. I don't know what happened there.
You know, this whole conversation, I think you guys are over complicating relationship issues. You know, we all are looking for a mate, female or male or whatever, that fits into our worldview. And our worldview is what's surrounding us, how we were raised, the other people that had an input into our life.
Mm-hmm.
All I want is a strong Black man with a job who's gonna bring something to the table. Nothing gets nothing, okay? You gotta bring something to the table. I'm not a materialistic. I'm not looking for 10 figures, 8 figures, 6 figures, but you gotta be able to contribute something to my life, to my well-being, and be a positive force in our kids' life, my life, and that's it. You know, and that if we on one accord, that way we can move mountains. But if we're not on one accord, we're not going anywhere. We're just gonna have a lot of arguments and fights. Mm-hmm. So that's my take on it.
Excellent point. Excellent point.
That's the point.
Because, but you're a woman of a certain age. What do you think the younger women, are they still saying the same?
What's your grandchildren and nieces and all that good stuff talking about?
Well, for me, my family, I think my nieces, my grandkids, they basically preach the same thing I'm preaching. They want somebody with something that's gonna enable them to rise up. You know, nowadays it's a lot of women who are taking care of these men and they spoiling them. So the men think that they're entitled to have what she got. Right. So, you know, men have changed a lot from the men I knew when I was coming up. I don't think kids or young people nowadays gonna find a man like the men were in my day.
I think people have changed a lot.
True. And I think that it's difficult because I feel so bad for the younger generation because I see what's out there. And Lord knows, I don't want them bringing somebody like that to my house. Say, Grandma, this is my fiance. You know, I have a hissy fit because some of what I'm seeing is not conducive to being a real man. You know, and it's hurtful. It's very hurtful.
Does looks matter? Does looks matter?
No, you don't want no Boogie Bear, but you don't want no Prince. No. You know, as long as he ain't, you know, super duper ugly, which I haven't seen. But if he's got a good personality, ain't a woman hater and beat you. He's a good provider. He's got standards and morals, and he ain't looking for me to take care of him.
So religion doesn't even matter, huh?
No, not really. I mean, it would be nice to have, but you know what? There's more devils in church than out of church. That's what a church is for. A church is for sinners. So it really don't matter. And as far as the Muslim intake that somebody was bringing up, position, you know, to me, that's a form of slavery because the women are not allowed to do so much. They've been subjugated and put in this little box, and you got to stay in that box. I don't like that. Don't box me in. You know, give me the freedom. And religion should be free will. You should not force anyone to be in a role that they don't want to be in. And I think most of the women in the Muslim community are enslaved. So much you can't do, so much you can do. You know, be a servant. And I don't agree with that. They'll probably kick me out and castrate me if I had balls or something, but I'd be really upset about it. You know, it's a free will country. I don't have nothing against gays. I don't have nothing against Jews, Muslims. I don't have nothing against anybody unless you come to me wrong. If you come up
would you marry a Muslim man?
I don't think so, because if he's set in his ways, we're gonna clash. Because I'm not gonna, you know, I'm too independent. You know, and I was told this. I was too damn independent. Don't no man want no woman that independent. And, you know, no, he probably tie me up and send me to Israel somewhere because no, I couldn't marry a Muslim man.
So it's like being an engine in a caboose. Well, they don't have caboose anymore, but boxcars. They got to be able to hook up. They got to be able to link and be pulled in one direction, right?
Right, and things don't get better when you what's the word I want to use? That contain. You know, you can't grow if you're that contained. You in that little box. You're not reaching out to nobody. Nobody can reach into you. You know, so
you don't believe in being what's the word? Submissive to your male partner, your husband?
Submissive or giving. Submissive is, to me, is a slave word. Okay, we are doing this together. We're working things out together. Ain't no submission. We're here for each other. Whatever it takes for me to elevate you and whatever it takes for you to elevate me, we in this together. Submission, that's not a good word for me.
It means to give up, right?
Right. You just
Give up.
throwing yourself away. And
Well, let's think about that. Let's just say you were a woman of a certain type of way at one point, and then once you got with the man that you really wanted to be with, you had to give up that way because you knew it wouldn't be conducive to the relationship. And that way could have been, I had a lot of male friends, and now that I found the guy that I want, I have to submit and give up all those male friends. Is that cool?
not submit. Oh, not submit. I'm not submitting anything. I chose to do this to better our relationship, to make our relationship work. No, so not submit, but I'm willing, and we are willing to change our lifestyles to be more conducive to our marriage and to our relationship.
Right.
It's a give and take relationship. You give up something, you take something. Both parties. It's not all one-sided.
This is correct, right? Giving up, right? To submit. Submission, right?
No,
Submit
we're
to-
trading. We're trading. We're trading. I'm
Yeah.
trading
Well,
the
like the indigenous people when the colonists came to New York, they gave the Indians some beads and they took Manhattan. So it was a give and a take. Were the beads really worth giving up Manhattan?
No, they were tricked. That was a trickery thing. That was trickery. That's what that was. That was the powerful and rich seeing a way to take over and to take something that they want from people who didn't know better.
So in other words, when you submit, there's always somebody dominant that you're submitting to?
Possibly, yeah.
Well, that ain't what Stormy Daniels and Donald Trump said, because he was submitting to her, and she was spanking him with a newspaper or a magazine.
Almost work.
Well,
I'm thinking
I
shit.
don't
We
know
do the
about Donald
Matterport
Trump.
probably at pickup. Honestly.
No, I mean, think about it. He's supposed to be the dominant, but who's the dominant person in that situation?
Why don't we have to have dominant? Why can't we be on an even pace or close to being even pace? Why someone's got to dominate over someone else?
Well, I don't think you should dominate over anybody else. I think everybody has strong points, and they should use their strong points to make the structures stronger. Like for me, my wife never. Well, I ain't gonna say never, but she takes the garbage out when she has to. But more than likely, I'm gonna get the garbage. I'm gonna take it out. That's just something I want to make happen. When my kids were younger and around, I made them do it. So you gotta do your job. My rule is this: know your role and do good at your role. That's it. If my role is expected, then I'm going to do the best and be good at my role. Everybody can do anything, but why subject that person to it when you can just do it that much better and make everything
True.
That's just my philosophy on it. It's like a cruise ship. Everybody want to be the captain, but we need some cooks. We need some bellhops. We need some entertainers. We need some lifeguards. We need some boilermen. We need some everything, nurses, doctors on board. So, know your role and hold your role strong. And then if you can manage and manifest a relationship, which cruise ships run very efficient in the middle of an ocean. I don't know how they do it with all those thousands of people on it, but they do. People are just knowing their roles and doing the things they're supposed to. No one said the captain is greater than me, which he probably is, maybe. But if you don't have those others, then it's not going to work right. The captain can't be everywhere. Just saying.
What I'm hearing is that Ella is saying, what I'm getting from you, Ella, is essentially that you want to have a team with your partner. And Steve, what I'm hearing in the cruise ship scenario is something like running a train, or something repetitious. We're just going to go through the procedures and get things mechanically to work like a factory.
A train.
Train.
You don't know.
Or a factory.
Running the train.
Yeah, different term. Yeah, okay, let's go with the factory.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we got you. I'll explain it to you later, Beer.
It's called 2 men.
Well, go ahead. Continue, Beer.
No, that was it. I think it's just two different perspectives on it. And personally, I think that relationships are more like a team. Things change. Situations come up.
Right. That's why I was
So,
telling earlier.
you got to adjust to.
You gotta have change in life. I mean,
Yeah.
if you just baby, you stayed a baby, you probably wouldn't survive.
Yeah.
You'd be 40 years old, still drinking milk and eating baby food. So, you gotta have change in life. Change is good.
Yeah.
Even the guy in the corner says, "Hey, you got some change?"
Yeah. Right.
Good. So, but my thing is, I think with male-female relationships, and I hate to use the word female, male and women, man-woman relationship is you gotta give, you gotta take, you gotta build, you don't want to destroy and tear down, but you just gotta build. And you just have to work it out, work it together. You gotta have some kind of basis, And DeAndre's right. It is based on what you see and what you've seen. And I go back to my relationship with my wife. I didn't know at the time what I was going through. I was a young man, and I came on her block and we started dating, and I saw nothing but married couples on the block. Everybody was married. Her uncle used to be married to the lady down the street. Her uncle, wife was from up the block. Her grandmother and grandfather were married. Her great-grandmother and great-grandfather was next door. They were married. Her aunt, was married. The people across the street, the neighbors were married. And I just saw a lot of married people, but I didn't put it into perspective in my head because when I was little, I always said, you know what? I want to be married when I get older. I want to have a family. And I was basing it on what I had seen. There was 5 of us in our family, siblings. And I'm thinking that's the way it's supposed to be. This is not bad. I want to have kids like that. And I want to be, in a marriage situation. And it was based on what I guess I've seen. And I didn't see a lot of problems with it. Where there's some divorces, yeah, separations. And you know what was strange when I was little? I could never understand where people was like, oh, they're separated. And I'm like, what does that mean? Oh, well, they're not together. But they're married, right? Yeah, but they're not married anymore because they're separated. So then they say, well, they're divorced. And I'm like, well, isn't that the same thing as separated? No, they're just not together until they get a divorce. That was confusing for me as a kid. I just didn't understand that. I'm like, how can you be out there with somebody else if you're still married? Because on paper, you're still married. And what is the separation? I don't know nothing about that. Where is that written? The separation is good or supposed to be. understand that at the age of like 10 or, I think I was probably around 10 or so. Ms. J, you got something to say? I knew you had your hand up earlier. Because we kind of touched on a lot of, I'm surprised Venus ain't on. She's supposed to come on, her and Clay, but they might be doing the Mother's Day thing. When is his birthday? He's supposed to have a birthday party coming up too. But it's just, we kind of touched on, DeAndre said polygamy, but it ain't really polygamy what Tiny was talking about. Tiny's just saying.
Yeah, I was just asking him that he have an experiment, that's all. Trying to get to see what's to it.
Right. You just said that women are, if you let them know the deal, it's gonna be the real deal. We talked about perspectives of not being married, you know, just the future of young of relationships, young, old, or whatever. You saying the virtual world will be the relationship in itself, which is amazing to me, because people don't need to get together anymore. They just take some narcotics and put on some virtual glasses and scroll the World Wide Web, I guess, and figure out what you want out of life through that. Which is weird, because what's gonna happen to restaurants? People go to restaurants for dates, right? In the future, you're just gonna send some food over?
Shit, I can see that. I mean, I could barely. I mean, again, this is it does seem like we're moving into. So you ever see Black Mirror?
Yeah, ain't no such thing as dating, Steve. Man, we Netflix and chill, man. We get something sent to the crib. We pop on that movie 5 minutes into it. We
Right.
horny. You feel me? We ain't none of that, man. Ain't none of that dating. But I was gonna say, so my son goes to a mixed, actually goes to a school, a Hispanic school. He goes to Roosevelt, Hispanic school, whatever it is. And so my son will be a junior this year. And when my son was a freshman, he had already made up his mind. He said, "I'm not dating no black women." He already made up his mind. And I thought it was crazy. I'm like, wait, what? You know, his mom and his aunties and stuff was kind of, you know, getting down on him because he said he didn't want to date black women. But, you know, I thought about it. I'm like, but his whole life he's been around this one particular group of, you know, women, African American women. And now he's around a bunch of Latino women. So obviously it's something that they do different to him that he obviously vibes with, because he made that decision pretty early on, like, yeah, nah, I'm good. I don't want to date no more black women. I'm good. I'm like, damn, you ain't even went through the stages. What happened? Are we good? So I'm like, man, we ain't even went through the stages. So that was kind of crazy. But I was just saying that to say, I think to y'all earlier point about the relationships and how you know, the culture isn't as strong as it once was.
So you think that's because that's right?
I'm sorry, you said what, Steve?
I said that's based on because of what's in front of him.
Right, that's my point. So, you know, he's grown up with his mothers and his aunties, and then at first he was at in grammar school, he went to like Spencer. So he's been around, you know, a certain type of woman for quite some time now, and now he's out in high school. Huh?
No, I was saying, like, he ain't really get a chance to go see what, like, a Kenwood or a Hyde Park or, you know, Whitney Young or Jones. Not just with black women, but that's also on about their business though, because he's been around, like as my brother said, a certain type. So he's in the hood with it.
Yeah,
all
exactly.
Is this type of woman. That woman is not that appealing.
Well, why is that woman like that though? Where he's from, that's where he plant his feet every day. Why isn't that woman like that?
That's he looking at his mom, he looking at his aunties and things of that nature, grandma, the people, the women he been around, and that was just a decision he made super early.
Age? They're within what, 3-4 years, his sister?
Yeah, but you ain't gonna look at those sisters and be
No,
like,
I'm saying, how does the sister feel about the same things coming from the nation?
No, she said the same thing. She feel the same way. Like, oh man, how you just gonna basically give up on black women before you even gave them a chance, type of thing. And my son just he adamant, like, nah, I'm good. I'm okay right here. This is where I'm at. And actually, he went to military ball with a Mexican girl. So
Right.
the girls he been dating. I mean, he got black girls at his school, so it's not like he don't have them there. But he just chose he chose a different type of woman that he wanted to be with.
And the other side of it is they're choosing him too, right?
For sure. But my son, tall, athletic, he on the basketball team, so they gonna choose him. He, I try to let him know the game off top. He gonna get chose off top because they not producing tall, athletic guys like that in their families. So
I got you.
yeah, but I just wanted to add that, man. I'm at work right now. I'm about to murder up.
Exotic is what you're saying.
Yeah, but I think that speak to what Dr. Dre was saying earlier, as far as you got all these basketball players that as soon as they get to a certain status, they instantly going to the opposite, and that's hurting. But then we never question what made them just say,
giving up.
I'd rather go over here. We never really asked that question.
Right. Well, that's so in line. I mean, I've seen it too, no doubt. As our country becomes more proliferated with brown people, as they say, I guess brown comes closer to black than anything else from our perspective.
I know, right?
I would say if they were in a predominantly white culture, they probably would date white people. Maybe.
Probably wouldn't. But
no, why would you say that?
I don't know. I guess you're right, man. We look at the other races as being exotic anyway. Beyond our own.
But you're not gonna believe this. I remember when they used to call black women exotic, and I was like,
for sure,
wow.
On the real.
I'm like,
you ain't lying.
They're just beautiful women. They're just,
But I think it's accessibility though, Steve. I think you see it too much now. Back then when you called her exotic, because you ain't know what she was about, what she was doing with.
Man, look, I don't know what it is, but I've always seen black women as beautiful women. I mean, skin tone,
they are,
facial structures, body structures, height, and all heights, whatever, hair, design, all of that,
They are though. I mean, they are, but again,
that's not exotic to me. That's just beautiful.
Well, outside the culture, that's definitely exotic. Black women are very, they're very appealing, very, very appealing. And so to other cultures that's outside, that's exotic, man, because you got to think, black women are like much more fuller than a lot of the other races. That's why black men now, when we see thick ass white women, the game done changed. Damn, like our sisters had that up on the white women. White women was flat as washboard. Now they in that gym, they doing them squats, ass out. Come on, black man, like well.
What about skin tone?
I mean, skin tone matters.
Think about it, man. We got some of the most magnificent hues.
We run the gamut.
We got very dark. We got brown. We got light. We got into all of them. Man, there's some women out of Sudan. Their skin tone is so ebony. I mean, just the skin tone alone is beauty.
Yeah, but that's what the exotic expression comes from. I mean, no other culture generally is referred to as exotic other than Afro-Latinas, which would be your Puerto Ricans, your Dominicans, and things like that.
What about Asians? Don't they consider?
Yeah, but not like Afro. Not like Afro. You gotta have that Afro to really be exotic like that. I mean, the most exotic that you'll find on an Asian woman might be her eyes. That's it. You know what I mean? Other than that, meh. Again, the exotic comes from the full package. Again, skin tone, cheekbones, the body structure. I mean, just the way like black women carry themselves with such a pizzazz. You know what I mean? In terms of like their movement, the way they can walk a room. Like there is no black people in general. I've always said this. I mean, God's great creation, goddamn. Like nobody's better than us. It is what it is. Like other cultures study us to emulate us. Anything that we do, we're leaders of industry and culture.
Look at modeling. Look at modeling in the runway. Before there were no black models up until I think Belly Johnson in the early 70s or something like that. It was a couple more. But once they hit the runway, clothes start taking off. And then guess what? They start saying, look at how they walking.
That's what I'm saying.
They don't walk, they just don't march down.
They got shade. Yeah, right. The culture too powerful. Black women, but that's the problem now. But today's black women, they got all of that. And then they got this environment that they grew up in. These women, what? Man, you better keep your head on the swivel. Women lay it down faster than men would. Yes, they would. Yes, they would. Man, these women they're different now. They're too violent. They want to fight a man. You're like, damn, like what? How do we get to this stage of the game where you think that you could actually pose a threat to a man? They full grown, but they want to, and that's difficult for any man to deal with. Right. Nobody wants to deal with that. But they had to endure so much for so long that they had to be this way. Right. So we ain't lost right now. It is what it is.
Where does the violent nature come from? I mean, is it just because of what's happening around them to their brothers and sisters being killed? Or, are they fighting their own sisters? Pardon?
Internet.
The internet? Who said that?
Who that look like? Howard?
What's happening, Howard?
What's happening, y'all? Yep. Internet.
The internet. That's what it
TikTok.
is.
TikTok.
TikTok. Ain't gonna be no more TikTok in the midnight. If you put the kibosh on that. But no, we're just talking about relationships. How this is something we talked about in last show regarding good, bad, or indifferent, just people in general. But this topic we just touched base on male, female, and I don't even like using male, female, but the term woman-man or man-woman relationship. And how do we even get to the point of calling females? I hear women call her that female. What does that mean? Female what? You either a woman, a man, a girl, or a boy.
It's over with.
I mean, why we say female?
It's America now.
You know what I heard my kids say? They say he a whole male, a whole female, or a whole boy. I'm like, what you mean a whole female? Is there a half female?
No, they're just saying like, all right, so this is America. Now people can present the way that they want to present. So you can't say or call anybody a man or a woman because you may be infringing on who they believe they are. So you can go male or female, but even then you might be running the risk of again somebody feeling like you disrespecting who they want to be. So better to ask nowadays. Is it okay if I call you she? Or you know, what are you going by? That's why people say pronouns now, you know?
Right. I remember we've been in a lot of rooms, they go around the room.
Yeah, I'll be like, that's why I tell them my pronoun, I'm Himothy. My pronoun, I'm Himothy, man. That's it. Himothy. Come on, man, because I just.
Wow. That's a lot of introduction. I mean,
it is.
Everybody, but presentation isn't enough.
No, sir. So in my fellowship, we had I still don't know if this. I don't know. They went by X. They went by X, and body wise was a female, but had more of a male demeanor and almost look, kind of sounded like in between, like in terms of voice, you know. And and they just went by they, so you know you respect them as they. But for me, when I want to go approach and have a conversation, I'm like, I don't know how to do that. I'm a little, you know, I can admittedly feel a little uncomfortable in some situations with, because it's you know, it's still. Right. What we operate in now.
And so. you almost have to let them dance, you know, lead the dance.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't, you know, I hear the music, but I don't know how you dance.
Yeah, you don't even want to put yourself in no compromising situation where they, you know, go and be like this guy, you like, damn,
you gotta lead the dance.
And so we're in that era though. That's what we had, so.
So anybody got anything else? Because we about to conclude, y'all. I can't believe we talked about this. And Tiny didn't even get into the nitty and the gritty on it. He touched the base a little bit. Because I've heard his story. He told me this.
I came in on the tail end of the conversation talking about the white girls. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so now we got the new and improved. Yeah, we got the new and improved white girls, but it's simple. We're losing our identity, especially with the sisters. And some brothers too. We need to cut out the processed food, get back in the gym. If you can't get in the gym, just walk and run around the block. But don't believe this hype that being big is good and be yourself, whatever they was campaigning a couple of years ago. Don't believe that, because the heart don't know about that stuff. When you big and your weight is over your frame, your heart pumping hard, especially you get older, they don't care about this political or public stuff. They talk about being big and sexy and all. No. The heart don't know nothing about that. So get y'all butt in the gym. Not even.
You remember how we used to say, "Oh, look at that baby. That's a healthy baby."
Yeah. You know, Queen Latifah used to come out. Yeah, you be this way. And this girl done lost all them. She done lost all this weight, but she telling everybody else, yeah, this and that, and she done lost weight. I was like, you know what I'm saying?
Man, they do that in every aspect. They got all the women out here talking about tricking guys and getting the bag, and all these women go home to somebody, man. Like, come on, jeez.
It's just like the rappers. They be on there with them thick girls, but then when you see them with their wives, they all, you know, I ain't saying they're in the gym, but they can look like they're in the gym. You know what I'm saying?
Like legit healthy, visually healthy. You can see it.
Yeah.
Facts. A lot of the damn wives be chefs. Shit. Man, come on, man. They playing games right in our face.
Well, think about it. Remember when back in the day when gangster rap kicked off, everybody's like, wait a minute, he lives in Encino. He doesn't live in Compton. But he's talking about Compton.
Mm-hmm.
He's living up in Thousand Oaks. What is he doing about Inglewood? It's like,
I think
about that. That's what sells.
I think what society is doing with our culture, with our Black folks, first is making us lose our culture. The second is making us live art instead of reality. We imitating art instead of reality, and that's what they steady got us doing. Like, they got people out here doing pranks. They got people out here just doing stuff off TikTok. They got people out here. It's just ridiculous.
Instead of what they say, life imitates art, or art imitates life. That's what they used to say. Now
art imitates life. Yeah.
Now life imitates art.
Life imitating art. Exactly. Yeah.
I definitely believe that, Howard, because I was just telling at the beginning that what everybody missed. I'm having quite a few of them, these prom send-offs. And when they do these prom send-offs, it's this big orchestrated thing, man. It's like, wow, you got horses, you got carriages, you got all this fancy clothes and posters and banners and food, and come down the line and let's video you getting dressed and putting on makeup. And I'm like, where does this come from? I mean, when I went on prom, yeah, you wanted everybody to see you get in your nice new car. You got it, I rented a nice, back to town, it was a Taurus. Taurus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was no, not Taurus, Thunderbird. I had Thunderbird. They had just come out with the new model Thunderbird. And, my girlfriend, wife, girlfriend at the time, went and got a dress made. I went and got my tux. We come out, everybody in the neighborhood see when we get in, we take off. Now it's like, they don't even go to the prom. They don't even want to go to prom on time. They spend $100, $150 a ticket on prom, plus the clothes, and then they go to prom starts at 6 or 7. They don't get there to 9:30. 9:30, 10 o'clock, and it's over at 11, ain't it? Most proms are over at 11 or 10. They don't even want to go to prom. So I don't understand it. It's a new wave, man.
And then what they doing now, the guys are renting money. What I mean by that, I seen a couple of prom pictures where they had a stack of money. They renting that money from. It's getting crazy.
It's all dollar bills, right?
No. They be real deal, but they rent them though. Let's say you got a $2,000, they'll rent the money for $300. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, shit, this is born every day. All you gotta do is meet a need. Man. But you can also buy. You could buy
fake money.
You can buy the fake money too, though. Yeah, you can buy the fake money. Yeah,
that's crazy. All about trying to perpetrate, trying to show what you got. This is the art. Look at me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, see. Oh, man.
Yeah. We're in a situation we need a drastic change, and I think we need something real hard to wake us up. They damn near have to threaten us, say we're going back into slavery. Maybe we'll wake up back then. They say, hey, we're gonna put y'all back in slavery. Maybe we'll.
Always say it's over with. It's over with. It's over with. Because and the reason why I say it's over with is because the people that have the most sense in their head, that are also possibly the leaders in charge, aren't collaborating to the point where the message can overshadow everything else that's being told. So what that looks like is, again, I go back to the fact that Illinois itself has the most Black elected officials, and then, they'll get in rooms and talk about the lack of collaboration, but you will never see all of the Black elected officials in one room together, talking about, okay, you county, you city, you state, you federal, what do we need to do as a group to figure out this issue? I need this from you, boop, 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 boop. We're gonna put a little plan together. That ain't never happened. That ain't never happened. So I'm just saying, like, it's called dissonance. Psychologically, it's called dissonance. Saying one thing and doing another. And again, even as adults, we're still children in that we will follow what you do and not what you say. That's why we always say and get upset when we chirping at people like, bro, why you ain't follow you? I asked you to do this. You ain't, what a person gonna tell you? You ain't did enough work for me. Shit, I had to see that you was gonna do it before I actually got involved in it. Okay, now I see you doing it now. We are still children in that way. So you cannot expect anybody to sit and hear you say that they should be doing something and not seeing you do that thing and then expect them to go do that thing that you're saying they should be doing. Don't work like that. That's the problem. That's the biggest issue right now facing the Black community, is that the people that are their leaders, that they put into positions to lead, cannot come to the table to collaborate to come up with anything solid.
Right.
So that's
I'm gonna give you a good example. So when I ran for alderman against Deborah Graham and Chris Taylor and all that, like, we were on WVON, and Congressman Davis was in there, and CB was in there too, and Taylor Farrell, he had already, he was in there, and they gave everybody an opportunity to speak. So I got on the mic and I said, I'd like to be the alderman that can at least supply my ward with the basic things that we need. Make sure the streets are clean, snow's removed, the lights are working, the garbage is picked up. And the congressman at the time, he didn't go with me. He went with Chris Farrell. That was his guy. He gave him money and the whole nine, you know. And he says, well, Steve, he gets something right. I like to think I live in the 29th ward, and I like to think I can get I should have a little bit more than that out of my alderman. I said, well, that's great, Congressman. I said, if once I'm elected alderman, I can work on the local level and you can work on the federal level, and we can work together and bring a lot to this war. And he kind of nodded and dipped his head like Danny always does. And okay, touche. And guess what happened 9 years later? Goddamn Alderman Telfro, I'm hearing so much bad stuff about him. I gotta run CB Johnson again. Because the man ain't had a political conversation with me in 9 years, 8 years. And the man ain't did, and I gave him money for his campaign, and the man ain't did nothing. And I'm like, yeah, you know, you live your mind, I guess.
Right. Big problem. That's what.
And you know what the premise was by getting Chris Farrell?
Try to get somebody on the outside.
They said they didn't want anybody that was attached to Austin.
Right.
And look what we got.
You know, the most, you know.
No relatives, no school, no mama, no friends. All he did was police part of the area a little bit. He didn't really know them people either, because he lives, you know, where he lives and does what he does. And he's from Virginia, Springfield, Virginia, and all that. But now they go back. Man, we need somebody that's got some bases here that can understand the plight of what we're going. Really?
95% of businesses that make a switch to somebody that's outside the company never do good, and they always go back in the same direction. It never works because people, there has to be an inherent understanding of the plight of the people that you're dealing with.
You need somebody, when that Titanic went down, you need them people on that rowboat that understand this is flight, what they call it, fight or flight. We don't need a guy that was over there on the Love Boat coming over here saying, okay, where's the nerves?
Right.
No, get an oar, get your hands in the water, and then stop paddling.
Right. At least if he was in industry, you'd be like, okay.
Right.
What you say?
And you guys are right. I look at the CPS for Chicago Public Schools, right? If you got a teacher that has taught 3 generations of kids, she should be the principal. You feel me? Because that principal could talk to the grandma. I mean, she could talk to the mama, the grandma, whatever, 2 generations, and she could say, "I know your mama, and I know your grandma, and I know whoever else." And that kid, she get the utmost respect, but you always bringing in somebody outside, like y'all talking about, somebody from way yonder where the kids have, and the mama and the grandparents has no type of relationship. It's just that simple, relations. That's what it's all about, relations.
Right. Even to the point, even if you made that person the assistant principal, number one, you saying we value the time that you put in, and we also understand that we need somebody that's going to be a strong relationship-oriented individual.
You're growing the seed.
Man, and I'm going to help you. Like, I might not ever take over this position, but I'm going to help you.
You're growing the seed. I ain't never heard what happened when Chris Taylor came in. You know what? We got this kind of seed that grows in Austin. Right. We want the seed that grows in Antarctica. We want the seed that grows in India. Let's put that seed here. And let's see how it grows. And then when it doesn't grow because the climate is not conducive to that seed, we wonder what did we fail? Was it the farmer or was it the seed?
Yeah, bad. I mean, this is like it could just be summed up with bad decision making. That's what's plaguing the community right now. And then, lastly, I'll say I am a big proponent of personal responsibility, self accountability. People, when they get to a certain age in life, have to bear the brunt of all of the decisions and choices that they make. Far too often, we are trying to pass it off. And I do get the development of the brain, and I do understand the stages of life. And so certain people at certain stages in their life do deserve the opportunity to make better decisions and choices. But once we get to a stage, we gotta rest on it. So when it comes back to like leaders and all of this stuff, like these are decisions that these folks are making, choices that they're making. We have to make that decision and choice to say this is not good enough for us, right. You know, and then move on from them. And then the same thing with people.
And we need to be developing the seed.
Yeah, that's
develop the seed. what do they call that when Jeanette? What they call it when they make the plant grow like they want? You got
genetically modified.
Yeah, GMO.
Cultivate.
What did you say? Cultivate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cultivate. Yeah, that's true.
Well,
right,
here's the deal. The thing is, this is my last thing. The thing is, we gotta be hardcore because we're in a hardcore situation, and we gotta get this distraction. Any distraction to come into our neighborhood, our community, we need to get down on it. Like right now, there's a big distraction right now. You know what that distraction is, and it's growing. It's some entertainment between Drake and
I knew you were gonna say that.
and these some busters. These some busters that ain't even in the street. You know what I'm saying? But they building up so much. Now you got people, yeah, Drake this. I can't think of the other boy name. That guy that. And really the kids should be thinking about how to solve this and how to graduate. This is a distraction that's in our system, and we need to. I'm gonna be honest. If I'm king, I'm doing two things. Then I'll let y'all go. I'm a hardcore dude. If I'm king, I'm telling everybody, and I'm telling the state of Illinois, social media is $100 a month, and I think what'll happen is that'll cut down on a lot of stuff because I don't think everybody gonna. Especially the people that we out here doing this, people that's out here doing stuff wouldn't be able to afford it, or maybe $150 a month. And I think that it alleviated a lot of stuff because my parents, we couldn't get on TV because it was just out of the budget at the time. So, you know, right. And then the other thing is, if your kids is acting a fool in school because of behavior he ain't studying, and you're a parent, on Saturday morning, you got to come to school with your kid and y'all gonna learn together. Because there's a lot of parents I'm seeing can't read. So we're gonna do the ABCs on Saturday morning. And everybody gonna go to class. Cause we can't just have the school, we can't depend on the school doing everything for our kids. Cause these schools, they let these kids walk out of classes now and everything. So, okay, you should have some control over your kids. So come to school Saturday morning, we're gonna do this over again.
I'm gonna give you a good example. I just did the career day at Ella Flagg Young School. And I went in the 5th grade class, 2 of the girls in there sleeping. I'm like, hey, this career day. This ain't sleep number day. What's your number? Would you try to get a job at the mattress factory? I'm like, that ain't what I do. I told them, and both of those girls were Hispanic. I'm like, what y'all doing? Too much siesta? You gotta take siesta? We ain't doing all that. You got to wake up. And it was a white teacher. He's like, yeah, Mr. Robinson, they're sleeping. Man, you didn't get these kids up. They sleeping in the room on career day.
Get their mama up Saturday morning, and we're gonna have a translator there too. We got it all.
Right. We ain't no more siesta for your little Nina. She got no siesta in the classroom. That ain't happening. I'm like laid out, man, head down, everything. I'm like, yo, let me tell you what I do. You working for the mattress factory back there. You need to wake up And he's like, yeah, Mr. Brody. I'm like, you the teacher, man. Tell her to wake up. He didn't want to, I guess he figured, let her stay asleep because she a problem anyway. But,
All right. Hey, I'm gonna get off here. Hey, Miss Jacob on the line. Hey, Miss Jacob. I just want to say hi to her.
yeah. She on there. She's back in the cut a little bit. But we about to round up. We be on 30 minutes after, but we came in a little late, so we all good. We want to say again, happy Mother's Day to the many mothers out there. And may you have a blessed, continuous Mother's Day. And I want to thank all the men that's on today talking about relationships, because we got more men talking about relationships than anything, which is different. Don't you think that's different, DeAndre?
Nah.
No, not really.
I mean, just have more men on. That's all.
Why? Because the women still out there having a good month.
For sure.
Oh, boy. So go ahead and take us out, man.
All right, y'all. Y'all know how we do every Sunday between the hours of 6 and 8. We bring you the Northwest Saucer Council. You got various ways you can interact with the show, the Facebook, the YouTube, or the Zoom. It's really up to you. However you want to do so, if you're on that YouTube or that Facebook, you always can throw your comment in the chat. We'll see if we can bring you in the show that way. If you're on Zoom, then you write in the show. You can just have a conversation with us. Come off mute. We keep it cool, man. I know we're going to have to mute you and then put you. Otherwise, listen, man, just share the show. Y'all ain't got to be stingy with it. You know, we still trying to grow the thing out. Been doing it 3 years now. September we'll be rocking into 4, so that's pretty dope for some consistency. But we know, but we want to make sure this thing continues to grow out, so people, you know, can have some real conversations in the neighborhood.
Grow out the show out.
Yeah, Steve was talking about changing up the layup. So,
yeah,
you know,
we're gonna change up the decor.
We might have a different look for y'all at some point.
Yeah,
we're
gonna go casual up in here with some lounge chairs, so we can keep deep.
Yeah, make it look, you know, really like a conversational space.
For sure.
But that said, again, you know, we see y'all next week. We appreciate y'all. Like I always just like to. Oh, did we want to go around the room?
Yeah, if y'all want. If anybody got anything in conclusion, go ahead. Start with anybody. Bear Corn.
Hey, guys. Good show. I like what Ella was saying, and there were it was a rich conversation. So thank you.
All right. How about you, Dr. Young?
Great show tonight, fellas. I guess that's my last thought on the relationship piece. It seemed like relationships are more about not necessarily love anymore, like building a family, but about surviving. So, like the system, not the system, but society, I guess we could say the system too. It has created this, I guess, environment where people are not looking for love or looking for, you know, somebody to share their life with. They're looking for somebody that's gonna help them survive this thing. So, good show.
Got you. How about you, Howard? You got
Raheem, that was a powerful close, and sounds like the beginning of the next conversation.
There you go. You got anything in conclusion, Howard?
No, not for relationship, but my only relationship right now is look up reranforblacks.com. That's my relationship right now. Everything else is.
Hey, that's what our show's about. West Side people talking about West Side issues right here on the West Side.
Yeah.
All right, Tiny, what you got, man, in conclusion?
Yeah, but in conclusion, as usual, it was a great show. You guys doing a great job, and I'm just happy to be among you.
Appreciate. Ms. Houston, anything in conclusion?
Well, I enjoyed the show, and you know, it gave me insight as to the male perspective of relationships. You know, some of it is new, some of it is good, some of it is bad, but it gave me another way of looking at relationships through the eyes of the man, not through my eyes, because I'm a woman. So not through the woman eyes, but through the man eyes. And that's it.
And we just skimmed it. The men really didn't get down deep into it, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, for sure,
We
man.
really kind of skimmed it. We didn't get into it, like we get into it otherwise. iPhone, who we got on iPhone? You got anything in conclusion?
Nice show. This is April. Thank you for the Mother's Day wishes. My birthday was yesterday also, and I just wanted to say
Happy birthday.
thank
Oh,
you.
my birthday was yesterday too. Go Taurus.
All right. But look, I attended, wait a minute. I attended Emma Mitt's Mother's Day event that she had yesterday. I volunteered myself on my birthday to volunteer and fed over at least, I think it was 400 or 500 people there yesterday. So it was very interesting, but it would turn out real nice. So, and also about the relationship thing, I when I came in when DeAndre was talking, and DeAndre, I like what you were saying about far as women and relationship. I think you need to have more topics again where you can invite not just me and Money talking, but I wanted to interrupt on some of that. But then I said, no, let the men talk for a change, because I guess for Father's Day you might have all mothers on there.
Nah. Believe me, we can take a relationship time. We could have part 3 of this. Because the men really didn't. They just touched. They touched on it. I heard a little bit from younger men, their perspective. I really didn't put up my whole perspective in it. Barry's a little older than me. He didn't put his whole perspective in it. Tiny gave a little bit of what his when he was younger perspective. But hey, we could dive into it all. This is something that needs to be said,
Yeah, that's true. But good topic tonight.
Appreciate. All right, y'all.
All right, Dan. Y'all, you got anything, please?
No, I just want to say, thank everybody for coming on. Being that it's Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day again to all. April, Ella, Miss Jacobs, those are other women that are out listening, my wife. Hey, love y'all.
Sorry. All right, y'all. So, like I like to say at close, I don't have anything to share. It's all good. Happy Mother's Day to everybody.
All right.
Like I like to say at closing, we have open seats at the table. We're just trying to welcome y'all all home. Thank y'all for allowing us to welcome you to Northwest Austin Council.
So,
y'all have a good night.
Good night, y'all.
Good night.
Good night, God.
Good night, all.
Everybody. Great.
Yeah.
What about the Rotary?
Oh, the next meeting is June 3rd.
We need a meeting.
Huh?
Okay. All right. I said okay.
It should be on the calendar.
Mm-hmm.
We'll touch base with. Go ahead.
Okay.
Check it out. He's checking. The honor shut down?
Yeah.
Okay. I can shut this one down?
Yeah, you're good. No, I said it should be on your calendar. Check the email, email.
You say check the email, Tiny.
Okay.
All right, Dan.
I'm sorry, Steve. What you say?
Shit. I'll call you later, Tiny.
Okay. Good.